Hopefully this works. Hey family. This is Alphamar coming to you live. Yes, okay, cool. Hey guys. Hey Hanifa. Coming to you live. This is like my third time trying to get on this thing, so I moved locations and I'm somewhere else, and so I see you guys are able to join me on this one. Are we being played, family? Are we being played out here? So I just, I wanted to come on again. I know it hadn't been long. I was just on a few days ago. I don't like to bombard you guys with my face all the time, but I felt the need to come on and recant some things that I said on that last video, with now that I have some newfound information about this whole uprising that's going on over in the country. And I'm looking, right? So, I mentioned, the whole Antifa and the whole, agent provocateurs on the first video. I didn't go into depth about it though, right? And, in the onset, I'm like, yeah, rowdy, rah, heck yeah, about time we stand up for a cause. Yeah, do what you got to do. Target, hell with Target. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm looking night after night. I'm like, wait a minute. What is really going on here? What is really going on here? This ain't us. This ain't the normal characteristics of how we respond to things. So I'm like, I know, okay, again, like I said, I knew early on that there was some infiltrators. There's always infiltrators, always. From the beginning of time, beginning of civilizations, there's going to always be people that, infiltrate. So, but I'm looking at it now on a broader, wider scale and thinking, oh, this rabbit hole run real deep. How is it that we normally are reactionary? That's just real, no matter how you feel about it, good or bad, right or wrong. Our modus of operandus normally have been a reactionary state of existence. You see, like, the whole O.J. Simpson scenario, the minute that verdict came down, we was in the streets that night, that day. The Rodney King, the minute, that went down, we was in the streets right away that day. You know what I'm saying? So that's, that's a normal reaction. That's what I consider righteous rage. We out there responding to the pain as it immediately, we see it, we feel it. This brother watched him die right in front of our eyes. We out there immediately in the street. So here we are now 3, 4, 5 days later, and all these, cities are growing, here we go 3 cities on fire, day 1, day 2, 6 cities on fire, day 3, 25 cities on fire. I'm like, oh, come on, this ain't how we operate. This looks like a well-orchestrated, organized response, right? And so I'm looking up, and I'm going in and doing a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit of looking into this whole Antifa thing, because, this ain't new. This ain't new for them. They've been around, family, and I'm looking at how during the a year or two ago, in that clash that happened down in Virginia, and I believe Charlottesville, Virginia, where that young white girl was killed. I think somebody hit her with a car, ran her over or something during the rally, and there was a clash between some so-called white supremacists, white nationalists, and black people was rallying, and they clashed, and kind of found out Antifa was on the scene then too, right? And so here they are again. We finding all this evidence that they, leaving stacks of bricks near buildings. You know what I'm saying? And they busting up buildings and windows. They giving young black boys bricks to throw and all that. And some of us are out there like, yeah, well, they, that's what we need. We just get some support. Family, you got to know your enemy. You got to know your enemy. And you got to understand that there's a whole lot of different things, scenarios at play all at one time right now. And this whole Antifa, you may see it as camaraderie, but they got a whole different agenda, beloveds. They got a whole different agenda. And one, from what I see, now I don't profess to know it all. I'm still learning day by day. But from what I can see and gather, based on what I'm realizing about them, is their agenda ain't gonna benefit you at all. In fact, what they do is they throw the brick and hide their hand and point at you. I ain't got nothing to do with what. I'm just here helping the blacks. I'm just here helping the blacks. Yes, And meanwhile, you get caught. We left holding the bag. And you know what else I'm watching deeper? In Charlottesville, when that uprising took place, then the government officials who were running that town, or whoever, the head of the chief of police, whoever put the order in for them to pull them police back. They pulled their troops back. I don't know if y'all remember that. There was a whole lot of angry resentment about that at that time. They was like, where all the police go? Where all this stuff going on, and the police just standing around. They ain't doing nothing. Do y'all remember that? Now I'm listening to ex-mayor Rudy Giuliani. He was being interviewed, and he was saying the same thing happened in I think it was Minneapolis, one of these cities that they were the other day, that they were out there uprising, and he said, he was like, they should be fired. The people who mayor should be fired. How do you tell the police to pull back? How do you pull the police back? And I'm like, uh-oh, here we go. Who's making these decisions? Who's making these determinations? Why are they correlating? These decisions are coming from some places outside of some white people grabbing bricks that's been paid $200-300 to go to these to go march or whatever, to use these places and go throw bricks through windows. They not making them kind of decisions. So I'm here to say, I'm recanting my statement about, we need to be out there, we need to be making it, doing what we need to do, because right now we not controlling this narrative. And if we ain't controlling the narrative of what's going on in the streets right now, that means we ain't controlling the outcome either. So if we ain't controlling the outcome of what these diabolical people get the plan in play, if we ain't controlling that either, then what are we doing? What are we doing? We're not controlling the narrative or the outcome. We're not in control. So they didn't hijack the whole mission. They didn't hijack the whole mission. Again, I don't profess to know everything. I really don't. But I'm watching, and I'm paying attention closely. And I'm looking at a whole lot of different things going on right now that make me pause. Wait a minute, you know what I'm saying? The revolution this ain't the revolution. They didn't switch the game up. And it's a master plan at play. And for us to keep on thinking that we got these European allies out here that's going to help us. And there are some legitimate, good people in every facet of life that's come down. I've seen that come down in support. So I'm not just saying all, but I'm saying there's a hidden hand at play, family, and we got to pay more attention to what's going on around us, so we don't get caught and snared in these traps, right? So I was going to say that the Amish, they were showing how the Amish came out, and is, you know, in support of, with picket signs. They rising up over in South Africa. They rising up some other European nation. I want to say, I forget, somewhere else. It's, you know, it's coming out. It's in standing up, speaking up. So I'm not saying that everybody is out for us, but I'm saying there's a hidden hand right now at play in all this. And if we're not really careful, and if we're not really thinking with our heads, and not just reacting on our emotions, we need to be careful, because we can get caught up in some stuff. And let me see. Hey guys. Hey family. Forgive me if I don't today get to all of you guys' comments and stuff. Sagir said, we always wanted justice, but still nothing changed. We have protested again and again and again. Yeah. And yeah, now I'm not saying that I'm thoroughly against, you know, knocking some shit off the table to get some attention. You know, now this whole looting thing, you know, that's not civilized. You know, and for real, it's just opportunists. When you see us out there doing stuff like that, that's usually them folks that you know, grew up on the rough side of the tracks, and you know, they see an opportunity, and you know, they gonna take it. You know, when you put yourself in them kind of shoes, you know, it's like it's not a crime until the opportunity presents itself to be a crime. And that's what you're seeing right now. Is it right? Oh no, you know, of course we know that ain't right, but you know, they gonna do what, you know, that's an opportunity for them to get out there and get in there and grab and run, and all that is thrill for a lot of them youngins and all that kind of stuff. So they ain't thinking really straight. But my main concern is this other hand at play right now with you know, the whole George Soros. Now we, you know, a lot of us understand the surface of these things, like, you know, the funding is coming from a George Soros, and he's the same one that funds the Black Lives Matter organization. They take money from George Soros, and yeah, and you know that they were funding both sides of that situation. So George Soros was funding Antifa, I mean the white nationals, and Black Lives Matter. That's why I say, family, you got to be careful. You got to be careful out here, because you know, it's some things going on I don't even have all the answers to, but I know it's going on. It's a deeper scenario, and it goes deep. It goes deep into the government, you know, even, you know, say what you want about Donald Trump. Say what you want about him. I know that man's a racist. I'll be the first to admit that. They all are. You know what I'm saying? We keep on looking for one of these presidents to not be. They all are, you know. That's the name of the game. And I know he speak, you know, he got issues. He got mental issues, really. He got, I forget what they call that disorder. But I think that there's a civil war going on up on Capitol Hill. And then right now it looked like a coup. It looked like they really trying to take over this whole government, right? And what I'm looking at, I'm seeing Trump fighting against all that. He making moves. That's why I say you don't pay so much attention to what he say versus what he do. He gonna say all kind of stupid stuff. He ignorant. He gonna call your names, all that. But watch the moves that's being played right now, as far as these executive orders he's signing and things like that. When you watching and you paying attention to his moves, I'm like, he's fighting against some powerful forces, believe it or not, that don't have our best interests at heart, you know. So that's a whole horse of another color. But I see it as a coup. It's a coup going on right now. They trying to it's a plot, and it goes deep, and there's some powerful forces at play that's making all this happen. We ain't out there night after night after night, and it's growing. So I'm looking at them like, okay, so now, yeah, 2 days ago it was 16 cities, now it's 34, and what, you know what I'm saying? So now this thing is gaining some momentum. So it's like, whoa, we need to be focused in on the behind the scenes of what's going on. The power behind the power is in control of this. Absolutely, Joe. Absolutely. And when we don't understand how white supremacy works and how the goal is to hold on to the power. If they are looking around the earth and there's a major global shift going on all over the world, and you looking around and you realizing, uh-oh, my days are numbered. But who wants to give up their power? Who wants to just lie down? This man ain't never lied down and accepted nothing. Everything they do by sheer force. They take it and they don't apologize. So to think that now, while this whole global shift is going and the powers shift is moving, you know, and to think that they just gonna accept that and it just be that, okay, well, my time is running out, it's over with. Let me step on down and let somebody else step on up and take the position of the global world power. No, family, these people gonna fight to the death to keep it. And if that means that a large percentage of the world's population got to be out of here, off this planet, for them to maintain their power and control and their wealth, do you think they wouldn't do it? You know? Do you think they wouldn't do it? There's some powerful people that clearly understand. Let me tell y'all a story real quick. Back in the early 80s, I thought this was a while ago. In the early 80s, I want to say it was Exxon. It was one of them, Exxon, Shell, one of them major moguls in the oil. You know, they all the same, really. It don't matter who it was, because they all really run in the same pack. But anyway, they did a study one time, an offshore study, back in the early 80s. They wanted to see what's going to happen if we keep on pulling oil out of this earth, and if we keep on, you know, if you know, what is going to happen to the earth? What is the ramifications and the results of continuing on doing what we're doing in our business? You know, running, you know, pulling the oil out of the water, and, you know, out of the ground and all that kind of stuff. So they did a study. It was like a 2-year study. They hired their own scientists, right? And the scientists came back after doing the study and showed them, look, in the next 20, if you keep going the way you're going, in the next 20, 25 years, you're going to have, you know, the oceans are going to be disturbed. You know, the ozone layer in the sky, you're going to affect that. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be, you know, it's finite. It's not infinite. Oil is not infinite. It's not an endless supply. You know, so they went down the list and showed them all the destructive things that will happen to the earth if they continued on doing what they were doing. This was the early 80s. Keep that in mind. Do you know they took that study and hid it? They hid it. They didn't come out publicly. They hid that information. So I say all that to say, these people understand what they're doing, and they understand the ramifications of what they do on the earth. So they're not going to stop doing what they're doing in order to heal the earth, or, you know, make the sky bluer and the water cleaner and all that kind of stuff. They know that the shit they doing is affecting our lives, people dying from all kind of cancers because of all the mess in the air and all that kind of stuff. They understand that what they do on a regular basis is killing folk. But if you go on Forbes magazine or what, all the magazines that show every year they come out with the top 10 most wealthiest people and, you know, things like that, and you look on that magazine and year after year after year, number 3, 4, or 5 is Exxon Mobil and Shell or whatever, all of them. They're not going to give up their money so you and I can be healthy. They would rather see us out of here. Well, you know what I'm saying? Well, we can. One way to fix the problem is we can stop doing what we doing and change up what we doing, and help clean the earth and all that kind of stuff. Or, we can cut off 25% of the Earth's population, and that'll solve the problem too. And we can keep on going with our thing here and keep on going with our lifestyle and making billions and trillions of dollars. Family, I'm saying, you don't know your enemy. Like, you really should know your enemy. Because if you knew your enemy, you wouldn't be out here talking about something. Yeah, I'm down with Antifa. I'm down. Yeah, they helping us. Here's the revolution. Family, you don't control this narrative. If you don't control it, you don't control the outcome of what's going to happen. You don't control the plan at play. We're being played out here. So we need to be real careful. The media got us spent. That media is the fifth leg of the military. It really is. And it's they don't tell you the whole story. They don't necessarily lie outright, but it's all propagandized. They spin it. That's why you hate Trump. That's why you hate Trump with a passion. Why? Because the media has convinced you to hate that man with a passion. That's real. Take it or let it alone. Everything you find on that TV, whenever you turn on them news channels, CNN and all them other left-wing news channels, that all you hear about is Donald Trump. Everything they say about that man is a beat down. That's deliberate. That's a deliberate. They want, why? Because that's how they control and manipulate you to hate him. They want you to hate him. That's the whole goal and plan. That's the civil war I'm seeing. You know what I'm saying? Because if you against Trump, then they can better work their plan. Because now you in the corner. They got the masses of the people rallying behind them. Yeah, get him out of here. Get him the hell up out of here. He a buffoon here. And he all that. Don't mistake my words. He all that. But what I'm telling you, and I ain't no Trump fan. I ain't vote for no Donald Trump. Don't plan to vote for Donald Trump. But I like to take a matter and mull it over in my head in every way before I come to a conclusion, especially just on sheer emotion. I watch what that man do, not just what he say, and I'm watching how he fighting some powers. He came out there and said this thing is. He said this thing is been taken over. You know, look at what he's tweeting, and he's signing executive orders now to stop these social media mules from blocking all kind of content. So now all this content, that a lot of the things that are true, they don't want you to know. So now they got the media, you know, these social media bigwigs, the Mark Zuckerbergs and the dude who on Twitter and all them people, and whenever something come across your screen, you really need to know about. You really need to know about some things that'll save our lives out here, but it go against the status quo or what they want you to know. Oh, they just block that information. Oh, it's, fake news or false news, all that kind of stuff. Meanwhile, that shit is straight up legitimate. And so Trump is saying, now Trump is signing orders, putting orders in play to stop that. So I'm saying, watch what this man is doing. Hate him if you want, but, don't turn your mind off to what's going on around us. Don't do that. It's a lot at stake right now. Hey, Alberta, you said you try to tell your cousin, our enemies are few but are powerful. Absolutely, Joe. I see Zionists. The Zionism is written all over this thing. Do you guys realize that the Zionists funded both sides of the war? In the German war, when the Hitler thing was going on? You should really study all that. Do you ever ask yourself, how come we don't ever hear about the German side of the story? About the whole Holocaust. The Jewish Holocaust, and they died in the Holocaust, and all this, and Adolf Hitler. All we know is Adolf Hitler is an evil man, and he did all this stuff to them. And how come you never hear about the German side of the story as to why they did what they did? You should really think about that. You should really think about that. I went hunting one time. I mean hunting. I was looking for some information. And my brother, Irritated Genie, hit me on to some stuff. And he, but before then, I couldn't find it. You ain't gonna go into Google and say, try to find an interview from the a German soldier in that war, or documents or books or anything like that. No, family, that's deliberate. It's deliberate because if you knew both sides of the story, you might have a whole different thought process right now about the Zionists. That's all I'm going to say, because them people powerful. And, they powerful. Diabolically powerful. It was a well-orchestrated response, Joe said. Yeah, it was. Yeah, this stuff. Oh, look, and I was looking too. And they were saying, I was reading some stuff on the Antifa, and they were saying that the FBI, and I believe it was the CIA, another organization, was looking into them, trying to find information on them, and trying to charge them with some thing, for what they've been doing. Because this ain't their first rodeo. They've been out there. This their MO. And they talking about something. Well, FBI found that they couldn't find any concrete information on them because it's a organization with no leadership and it's elusive. And I was like, BS. Come on, who you think you talking to? FBI can't find all this. You mean to tell me these people out here throwing bricks and all that kind of stuff, you can't find now one lead? Some powerful people at play, family, and what I'm seeing is there's a lot of people who are allowing this, or is behind this, or allowing this stuff to take place. You can't tell me the FBI can't find no evidence on who these people are. That's bull. That's bull. So this whole new world order thing, that's the word that's been on the scene for a long time now. And a lot of us folks been screaming at, what they want to do. They want to crash this economy. And again, I don't know. I don't have all the answers, but I'm just sharing with you guys what I'm seeing transpiring. But what the word on the street was for a long time now is these powers that be, their plan is to destroy this nation and crash this system and build a new one. And a certain amount of the people on the earth got to go. And it's all going to be, slavery. They ain't going to need no chains on you no more. Everything is computerized now. And so, they give you a chip or whatever, and good luck trying to get out of this country, or good luck, anything you do wrong. You seeing a little bit of this right now in China. Right now, China got computers on every street corner, and even if you jaywalk, do you know if you jaywalk or something, and they catch you on the cameras over in China, they don't send no police or nothing to get you. They got a computerized system. So they do the facial recognition thing, and they pump the computer. They go back to the main hub of the computer, and it pops up who you were, and it's a point system. So and then they take points away from you, and so the lower your point system go, the harder it is for you to get a loan, the harder it is for you. It's like the same way we do here for credit. Your credit score drops. So yeah, family, that's going on right now today. Look into this stuff. Look into this stuff. All that is maintaining more power and control over you. China already, they did just Hong Kong. I didn't get all deep into it, but I'm hearing headline stories now where they said in the midst of all this coronavirus stuff, they didn't come. Remember, they was over there fighting, picketing every day, and they was out there like for months, every day, trying to fight against them and impeding on their space over there in Hong Kong and stuff. Well, they said, well, China just made some moves over there now to tighten the reins. So you think that in order for these people to rule the way they need to rule, family, they have to have control, complete and total control over you. Because if not, you'll see what happened. Look at the streets tonight. Look at the streets in the last week. They'll have uproars in the street. People, you know what I'm saying? So they can't have that, because that disrupts the system. You know, so in order to keep the wheels going the way they needed to go, they got to maintain control and order, law and order over you. So if that means clamping down on more and more of your rights, locking you up, you know what I'm saying, or making you stay in the house and you can't come outside without a mask and all that stuff, we got to really got to have our thinking caps on out here. Because it's some serious times. And I just want us to start thinking outside of the box. Because right now, we in our feelings, for good, rightfully so. We're righteous rage. That's what that is. But there's people out here that's capitalizing off of that. You know what I'm saying? They could give a hoot about what's going on with us. People, went out there. All them Europeans out there now. But when the last people, they ain't never been out there like that in support of us. Wake up, family. Come on. You know this. You know what I'm saying? So now all of a sudden we got more Europeans out there in the streets than black people. No. There's some hidden hands at play. Hood cats doing hood stuff, unfortunately. Yeah, Robert, I talked about that yesterday though, but that's a lot of that fall on our damn lap. We can't keep blaming other people and shaking our heads and getting mad and stuff. What are we doing to pull the hood up? So, you look at them youngins out there looting and doing all that silly nonsense stuff. But, and we shake our heads, but we don't, we and do nothing more than that. But get mad. No, we got to get our hands dirty. We got to get out here and we got to, it's time for us to, this thing it's going to go, whatever we do. I'm with Dick Gregory, for real. Dick Gregory, people was asking him in his last days, so what do we do, Baba Dick? What do we do about this? How we fix this? He said, y'all know him. Motherfucker, what do you mean? What do you mean what we do? The time for you to do anything about it is come and gone. You can't do nothing. It's it's over with. Finished. I thought about that in depth one time after I heard Baba say that. I said, wow, that's a wise man. That's a wise man. So I say all that to say this thing gonna play itself out. That don't mean we sit down and die or lie down and put our head on the chopping block or put our arms out and allow the chains to be locked on our wrist. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. But I'm saying that things have gotten so intertwined at this point to where it's all I see is it's gonna play itself out. Don't lie down though. Don't stop fighting though. You know what I'm saying? And this don't mean that gloom and doom either, because I believe in the hereafter. The hereafter. Not up in the sky, somewhere in the clouds after you die. No, right here, after a certain amount of time, after an appointed time, after some things takes place, after some rulerships fall down off the throne, after some rebuilding and reconstructing is taking place. So the hereafter looks glorious for us, really. We got to go through the storm. Absolutely, we got to go through the storm to get there. But when you have faith and understanding, then, you know, it's our time. Just look around. You know what I'm saying? The power shift is shifting. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at it real broad, you will see that it's shifting in our favor. That's why we get catching so much hell. Baba Baruti taught me that one. He said, you know, if your slaves are fine and you're doing everything that you need them to do, what you need to be beating them for? What you need to be putting your foot in their neck for? Everything's running like you need it to. It's only when them slaves ain't doing what you want them to do, or they getting a little too big for their britches now. They, you know what I'm saying, pushing up against you now. That's when the fangs come out. So yeah, that's why we catching so much hell. Cause when one nation rises, or one people, or whatever you want to consider it, when one rises, another must fall. That's the ma'at. That's the balance. That's the feathers on the ma'at. That's how it go. That's the yin and the yang. So, you know, so if one fall, then who rising? The enemy plans and Allah plans, and Allah is the best of planners. Family, I'm one that proudly holds on to the rope of Allah. That's my salvation. You better have some salvation out here, you know, something higher than yourself to cling on to, or you'll go lose your mind. You'll lose your mind out here trying to rely on your own wit and your own sense of understanding and your own, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you gotta, that's how our ancestors made it through. You know what I'm saying? You could say what you want about, you know, all the nonsense that was given to them in Christianity, but faith alone, believing in a power higher than yourself. Imagine, family, what they contended with back then versus what we are here. And we are contending with some things, but imagine, the things that they had to contend with on a daily basis, never letting up off of pain and anger and anguish and sorrow. And you used to see the picture. You ever see them pictures of them few pictures that you would find of back in the day of our ancestors that were enslaved, and a lot of them down the south, and you know how the eyes, you could see the eyes, the mirrors of the soul, and how the eyes look so sorrowful. And you know, anytime I go there, my heart get heavy. So, but they made it through that, and here we are in 2020. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got some troubles. Hell yeah, you know what I'm saying? With some troubles right now. Always troubles. We said from the moment we've been here, it's been a struggle. Everything we do, any advance that we get in this society is from the brute force of our struggles. It ain't nothing been handed to us, you know, and I think that's divine. But yeah, so I say all that to say we rising. We rise. It's a protracted struggle. It's a protracted, yeah, we in some positions that, you know, when you look back, we ain't in chains. You know what I'm saying? We ain't, you know, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we ain't outside having to pick cotton from sunup to sundown 6 days a week and for nothing, and not get paid a dime, and then go back into a one-room shack with 8 people and sleeping on floors and hay. You know what I'm saying? And barrels of hay and all that stuff. So yeah, you know, and realistically, come on, family, look at our lives today. You know what I'm saying? It's not that. So yeah, we're rising. But it's a protracted struggle. So now then, but then we gotta contend with a lot of the miseducation too. But all that, we be a whole lot further off. I already, there's no doubt in my mind where we would be in such a far different reality than where we are now if we were separated from these people. Take it or let it alone. Take it or let it alone. You start sitting back and thinking about all of the struggles that we contend with on a regular basis and start going back to the root causes of why we struggle the way we do, you're gonna keep coming to the common denominator. Mark my words. It's just that we don't do it. We don't do it because, you know, it don't feel good to do it. Because we ain't them people. You know, we want to love everybody. And, you know, everybody our friend. And we want to proclaim not to see color and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, because we don't treat people the way they treat us. We're better than that. You know, that's because our antennas are stronger than that. We have a connection that's a lot higher than that. That's obvious. Look at all the stuff we contend to, and we still keep forgiving over and over and over again. Why? Because we are the people of God. We are the people of God. When God made His creation, when He sat down to create in the canvas, a blank canvas, and the first thing He created when He created man, He created a black man and a black woman. So we are the closest thing. I like to consider it like we the closest thing to the Creator. You can take it or let it alone. If you're the original, that's why I say this is a whole lot of responsibility come with that title. You don't just say that, you know, it's just to say it. No, look at all the responsibility come with that. If you're the original copy of something, and then you go to the copy machine and you run off copy after copy after copy after copy of that original, and you go back and look after a while, after a while you look at the copies, you're going to be able to barely see what's written on the paper. But the original look the original same. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the more you get away from the original, it's not the same makeup. That's the same with us. It's not the same genetic makeup. So we gotta understand who we are and be okay with that, and be proud of that, and not be so uncomfortable, you know, and shuffling in our seats so out of uncomfortable because you worried about what somebody else gonna think or feel if you say that too loud and proud. Damn that. You know what I'm saying? You the best thing that was created on this earth. And you gotta walk in that and live that and understand it and know it from the depths of your soul. Because once you do, ain't nothing stopping you. Can't nothing stop you. You know what I'm saying? But right now, we seeking validation from other people that don't even have our best interests at heart. We cry and plead, and you know what I'm saying? We don't want to offend, and we don't want to hurt and all that kind of stuff. So even, you know, the things that when we should be standing proud and tall, we don't, because we don't want to offend nobody else and all that crap. You better stand strong in who you are. And believe it or not, a lot of the rest of the world is out here waiting for you to take your rightful place back on the throne. Because they understand a lot of this hell gonna stop when you do. You are the viceroys of the earth. You are the ones that will sit here to make things right. To make things right. But what we doing is following behind the children of Lucifer. Really are. We following behind the children of Lucifer. We don't understand it that way. We don't understand it because we don't understand our enemy. We don't understand our enemy because we don't understand ourselves. To know thyself is to know all men. To know thyself is to know all men. Yeah, that's why once you learn all about yourself, you'll be able to make the distinctions. You're better able to make the distinctions. Oh, I ain't like that. Oh no, that ain't what we do. You know what I'm saying? But when you all trying to make it all a melting pot and come together and kumbaya and shit, that shit get cloudy. Now you doing what they do, because you don't understand who you are and the value you bring to this earth. I did not come on here to say all this. And I ain't gonna stand here long, family. I just wanted to mention a few things, and I wanted to recant my statement because, you know, I don't want to sit in cognitive dissonance. We all have it. We all have, every last one of us got it in some degree or another. And I ain't want to sit in my cognitive dissonance and look around and try to recalibrate the truth into try to make myself believe that is something that it ain't just to appease my ego, because I don't want to admit that I was wrong. So I'm going to think about any other way I can figure it out. So I won't have to admit I was wrong, and I can make excuses and justifications for what I said or what I did. No. If I've come to some newfound evidence, and I'm realizing that some things that I said on that last video, I should not have said. I was wrong. I was wrong about, having us go out there and rally. It's for a good cause and all, but I don't think that's the proper thing for us to be doing right now, because this whole mission has been hijacked. And right now, I was listening to C-SPAN earlier today, and which I like to do when they have the call in, with anybody in around the country can call in and just tell how you feeling. And this old white woman, she said she was 80-something years old. She called, and she was talking about what's going on right now. And she said, and all those people out there looting and stuff like that. And she said, my grandmother's one they love to use, my step-daughter or step-granddaughter or something, she's black, and she tried her hardest not to like me, but she loves me now, and I love her. But I'm looking at all this stuff that they're doing out there. They ain't all that. I'm mad. She said that makes me look down on them. All them black people doing all that looting, that makes me look down on them. I said, see there? See, that's what happens. That's what happens when we don't control the narrative. We don't understand the bigger plan at play. So all this stuff going on right now, and they looking at us, see them savages. That's why that's why the police do what they do, because they ain't nothing but savages. So the whole mission, the whole purpose of the movement gets lost in the shuffle. They forget all about what happened to that man when that cop put his knee in that man and killed him in front of us. All they see now is looting and rioting. And it's a dangerous place to be, family, when you got a large segment of a population that you live amongst see you that way. They see you as savage, and hey, it's dangerous. It's dangerous for you, because now your life is not as valuable. That's how you see what's going on right now. So they see you as a hindrance to the well-being of the society. Get rid of them. That's how Hitler did what he did. That's how Hitler was able to get away with it, because he was able to convince the people of Germany that these people were scum of the earth, didn't deserve to be here. I ain't gonna say what I really want to say, but my point is, and to the point where when it was time to turn on them gas chambers, they was cheering. Yeah, get rid of them. It's a dangerous place to be, family, when a large percentage of the population see you as not even worth being on earth. So I'm saying all that. When I heard her say that, I was like, oh, that's dangerous. Because, so the looting and all that kind of stuff, I don't know, family. I'm not going to be the one here advocating for that. I'm not advocating on behalf of all that looting and stuff. Let me get off this quick. I rallied. I called my family members, and we got on a conference call last night for a plan. I was like, family, I think we should be talking what if right now. I don't want to scare nobody, and I'm not scared. I really am not. You know what I'm saying? I'm cautious, but I'm not scared. I'm not afraid, because anyway, so we were on the phone together, and I told him, I was like, we need a contingency plan. What if things, get so bad in this society that we can't get a hold of one another? Or that, we scattered, we in like 4 or 5 different states, what's the plan? I mean, what, you know what I'm saying? So we came up and we devised a plan together. Well, the beginnings of a plan was contingent, but you know, the beginning. So I'm saying that to you guys to say that, you know, you may want to be thinking about some what ifs. You know, this you know, the wisest people on earth have insurance policies. You know what I'm saying? You know why? You know, hopefully you never need it. You know, while you're alive, you never need it for anything, but just in case you one up, you aware, you prepared. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying you might want to. This is the time to start getting closer to family, community, your own family and community. That's the part. That's one of the tenements to building, to rebuilding. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to when we think of destruction and all that stuff, I think we think that this whole society will have to be in ruins and up in flames or nothing but ashes left, and then you go from there. No, you can, you know what I'm saying, the rebuilding phase, a lot of times it don't, you know, it ain't necessarily got to look like that physically. You know what I'm saying? It's just that although things are starting to get to that point, you know, a lot of the infrastructure, major infrastructures are starting to collapse, you know? And but I'm saying you don't have to wait. We can be rebuilding now. And that starts in the mind. What are we doing to build ourselves up in this scenario? What are we doing? So yeah, we could be getting closer to family and pooling our monies together and planting foods and, you know what I'm saying, and buying up land or whatever, so, you know, or whatever it is. We should be doing all those kind of things right now more than ever before. And so we can be in a better position. Cast a wider net. That's important too. I'm saying it's important to get more people. The more people, we're smaller percentage of the population here. But if we had a lot more support worldwide, then, you know, it wouldn't be just us fighting this fight. We'd have people from the outside helping Africans, other Africans across the globe, you know, and it's time for us to start getting closer together. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the rebuilding phase. Excuse me. Anthony said, if a small percentage of looters and rioters discredits the entire movement, then what does a small percentage of bad cops do? I don't know. Anybody want to answer that? I ain't really kind of focused in on that question. I respect it, Anthony, but my head is somewhere else. Andre said, we have what they call battered wife syndrome. If I love him a little more harder, then he won't beat me as much. Yeah, that's because we don't have the confidence in ourselves that we need. Because if we did, we would break free of this. We wouldn't depend on them for everything. Wouldn't depend on them to educate our children. We wouldn't depend on them for jobs. You know, we wouldn't depend on them to feed us at the grocery stores. We wouldn't depend on them when times get hard. We got to go to this social service, and, you know, we wouldn't depend on them for none of that. We would, you know, hospitals and you name it, everything, all the infrastructures. We don't run none of this crap, and y'all know it. We don't run none of this crap. And a few politicians that we got up in there, all they do is go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? You got a few of them in there that stand strong and go hard up against the grain, but it ain't enough. And so they get swallowed up by the many. And the most of us, when we get to them kind of positions and stuff, if you're not strong enough mentally, if you're not strong enough to hold your position, you fall in line with what everybody else doing. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, you taking bribes and taking money under the table, and you know what I'm saying, and them all those, when the snake comes slithering up in your ear, you ain't strong enough to deny yourself those material those material things. You know what I'm saying? And stand on principle. And a lot of us just don't have that willpower, you know. And then you find yourself 10, 15, 20 years later taking bribes and going along with laws and stuff that you know that ain't in the best interest of your own people. But, you know, if you do this, wash this hand, and you know these people over here gonna do something for you that's going to be selfish. You know, now you maneuvering in a selfish manner. And so, yeah, even the political arena, man, it's all a bunch of sellouts. We gotta use our heads so much and not so much our emotions. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we should be upset. We got every right to be upset. You know what I'm saying? It's righteous rage. That's the difference between us and them. You know what I'm saying? We upset for a good reason, a noble purpose, you know, a righteous cause. And all we doing is fighting against the enemy. Fighting against it. It's the war of Armageddon. The final war between good and evil. But we still got to use our heads out here. We really do. I think it's a coup. And we certainly being played. Because who's in charge? What's going to happen after this whole... What the end result look like? We ain't running it. So what the end result going to look like? You know, Andrew Cuomo, I was listening to him this morning, which I like to do, because he's you know, I don't know much about him personally, you know what I'm saying, but what he spews from his platform is he seems to be fair. You know, his conversation is always fair. You know what I'm saying? And I like the way he breaks things down and allows you to get a better, proper understanding of how things run. You know, he don't just say we're gonna pass this law, pass that, or we're gonna do that. He explained to you, you know, why they doing certain things, or how it works, how the ins and outs of what they doing up at, you know, in his position and all that. Anyway, if you get a chance, go back and listen to his fireside chat today that he talked about today. He went, you know, he got on, he talked about the coronavirus numbers, and he went into this whole thing about what's going on right now in the world. And him and everybody else is screaming the same thing, that, you know, there's some other other hands at play out here that's causing all this ruckus. But he was saying some real interesting stuff, you know. So I've lost my train of thought, but yeah, tune in to Governor Cuomo for some insight. He got some insight. Yeah, things aren't going back to normal. Things aren't going back to normal. I've been saying that from day one. And I'm seeing this whole coronavirus. There was some playing around with that. You know, I don't know if it was created in a lab or not. There's a lot of fingers that point to that definitely can be the case. You know what I'm saying? That can definitely be the case. You got China, you got Iran, both standing up saying that America unleashed this weapon. You know? You ain't gonna hear all this stuff on the news. So I said, be careful feeding that news your head family, because they there to manipulate. They there to help. They there to help the powers that be maintain control. Really, they really are. You know, that's who owns this, corporate owned. Who you think own it? You know, all these names y'all keep hearing, the Rockefellers and the Soros and the Bilderbergs and all that stuff. Them, you know, them and they buddies own the media. So be careful feeding them your brain, because the next thing you know, you start like Malcolm said. You know, enough of that. You start thinking they your friends. You confused as to who your friend and who your enemy, and then you get snared in the trap and caught up. And folks dying out here for the lack of information. You know, people are destroyed for the lack of information. So watch what you let that media feed your brain. Things are not going back to normal, any sense of normalcy. I don't see that. I don't see that at all. I keep going back. My very first intuition was when I heard about all these CEOs just dropping all of a sudden at the same time. All these CEOs left their position in the country soon as this coronavirus thing hit. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? What memo they get? Unprecedented, never before. There was so many, all these thousands of CEOs left. Like, what the hell? Where they at? Where they at? That's why I'm still trying to figure that one out. Where they at? Now all of a sudden, now look at the, you know what I'm saying? Shit is crazy out here. So that was my first warning sign. I don't know about y'all, but I'm still screaming at where they at and why did they all leave all of a sudden? What they know that we didn't. And so ain't nothing going back to normal. This is only the beginning. The scriptures say these are the beginning of sorrows. The beginning of sorrows. Yeah. You can see that. If you don't see that, then I don't know what you looking at. Yeah, them books, man, ain't nothing but revelations. You know what I'm saying? They ain't nothing but revelations. And when you tune all that out, that's another thing that we do. We tune all that out, and then we don't know. We don't know what's to come, because that's the guide. You got a guide. You got a guide to tell you exactly what to expect. But we don't believe. You know what I'm saying? We want to connect those spiritual guides with this beast. No, this beast tampered. That's what he do. The whole time they were here. That's all they do is fight against righteousness. Fight against the Creator. You know what I'm saying? Fight against good. You know, we ain't doing nothing but here we are in year 2020 still fighting. Them same people that the people who were fighting back in scripture days. The same fight they had back in scripture days, the Moseses and let my people go Pharaoh. You know what I'm saying? Here we are in 2020 still fighting that same fight. So those stories are history. That's what, you got some scholars, they all have different theories about it. Some people say it's not a history book. I believe it is. All you got to do is look. You look out in the world and then read that book and you see the correlations. You know what I'm saying? So, when you understand how to read them books, it'll tell you what's coming. It'll tell you what's coming. So these days are the beginning of sorrows. It's not getting, unfortunately, family. I wish. Maybe I don't wish, but unfortunately, it ain't gonna get no better. We ain't gonna wake up tomorrow and our lives are gonna be in total bliss. That ain't how it works. No, this is just the beginning of sorrow. So hold on to your hats. We got a bumpy ride, and everybody ain't gonna make it. Nope, but we got to go through it. We got to go through the storm to get to the other side. So, yeah, be careful. Watch your backs. Y'all out there in them streets, family. I ain't big on telling nobody what to do with themselves, because we all got our own separate paths to walk. I'm just saying, be careful. Be careful, family. You know what I'm saying? I've been telling those who are closest to me, stay out of them streets right now, because there's too much uncertainty going on. You get caught up. They trying to catch you up, and you gonna be the one get caught holding the bag. When it's all said and done, you the one that's gonna get blamed for all of it. So don't even give them that. When they turn the TV on, let them be all they see is them, a sea of them doing all that disruption and causing all that ruckus and stuff, because you know better. You ain't down there in the midst of that. But when you in the midst of that, and you thinking you got allies, and the whole time they plotting against you, right beside you, with the fists up, Black Lives Matter, and yeah, we got to fight the power. The whole time they working a plan against you. So be careful. Be careful. Alright, I'm gone, family. And again, I'm sorry. I know I didn't get to everybody, today, but I didn't want to make this a whole long drawn out thing. I just wanted to come and recant my statement and admit that I was wrong about some things. And to say that, you know what I'm saying, keep your head up and keep your eyes open. Alright, family. Take care of each other. Peace.